Hello, and welcome to Daily English Stories and Podcasts. I'm so glad you're here today. This channel is a quiet space where you can slow down, breathe, and learn English in a natural, relaxing way. So please, get comfortable, let your shoulders drop, and allow your mind to settle down with me. Today I want to share a story about an ordinary morning that became quietly meaningful. It was a Tuesday, and my day started much later than I had planned. I woke up late because I trusted my alarm more than my tired body. Without even opening my eyes, I turned it off, believing I still had plenty of time. When I finally did check the clock, my heart sank, and my thoughts immediately started to race. In that moment, everything felt hurried, loud, and completely out of control. I jumped out of bed, splashed water on my face, and fixed my hair without a second thought. I grabbed my bag, checked my phone for messages, and rushed out the door. Outside, the air was cool and fresh, but my chest felt tight with worry. The street was already awake, filled with the sounds of morning traffic, engines, and people walking quickly. As I reached the corner, I saw the bus arriving earlier than I expected. For a second, I felt a wave of hopelessness, but my legs decided to try anyway. I ran as fast as I could, waving my hand, and thankfully the driver noticed me at the very last moment. When I stepped onto the bus, my breathing was heavy and uneven. The bus itself was quiet, filled with tired faces and sleepy eyes. People held their phones, their bags, and their own private thoughts close to them. I stood near the back, trying to calm my breathing and quiet my racing mind. That was when I noticed something unusual on a nearby seat. A small brown wallet was just lying there, completely unnoticed by anyone. I stared at it for a moment, wondering if someone would suddenly realize it was missing and claim it. When no one did, I picked it up carefully, feeling the surprising weight of a stranger's life in my hand. It felt strange to hold something so personal yet so silent. For a brief moment, I hoped someone would speak up, but the bus remained quiet, and no one looked around. I asked softly, "Did anyone lose a wallet?" A few people checked their bags, while others just avoided my eyes. No one answered, and the bus continued on its route. I walked to the driver and explained what I had found. He listened briefly and pointed to a small box near his seat. I placed the wallet there, but my heart still felt uneasy. I couldn't stop imagining the owner searching their pockets with growing panic. I pictured someone standing still on a street corner, realizing something so important was gone. At the next stop, an older woman got on the bus, holding the rail tightly for support. I stood up and offered her my seat. She smiled warmly, and that simple gesture immediately softened my tension. She noticed my restless expression and gently asked if something was wrong. I told her about the wallet and how worried I felt for the owner. She listened patiently, without interrupting or judging me. Then she spoke calmly and suggested I check inside the wallet for some identification. Her voice was steady, practical, and kind, all at the same time. Taking a deep breath, I decided to follow her advice. Inside the wallet, I found an ID card and a neatly folded note. The note had a phone number and a short message written carefully. It said to call the owner's sister if the wallet was ever found. In that moment, a wave of relief washed over me, slowly replacing my anxiety. For the first time all morning, my thoughts felt clear. I called the number, and a worried woman answered right away. When I explained the situation, her voice changed completely, filled with relief. She thanked me again and again, almost unable to stop. She told me her brother was already panicking and was heading to the main station to retrace his steps. Just then, the bus driver announced that the very next stop was the main station. Everything suddenly felt perfectly aligned, as if the morning had a hidden purpose all along. When I stepped off the bus, a light rain began to fall gently. We pulled. They had umbrellas, and the city seemed to slow down around me. Near the entrance to the station, I saw a young man checking his pockets over and over. His face matched the photo in the wallet perfectly. When I approached him and handed him the wallet, his eyes widened in disbelief. He opened it quickly, then let out a deep, long breath of relief. His sister stood beside him, thanking me with shaking hands. He offered me money, but I refused without a second thought. I just asked him to be a little more careful next time. He smiled shyly and promised he would never forget this moment. As I walked away, the rain no longer felt cold. On the next bus, I sat by the window quietly, watching the city pass by, feeling calmer than I had all day. I realized my morning began with panic, but ended with a sense of peace. Yes. Nothing dramatic had happened, yet something inside me had shifted. I learned that kindness doesn't need attention to be powerful. Sometimes it is simply the choice not to ignore a small moment. That day reminded me that mistakes can still lead to something meaningful. Even rushed mornings can carry gentle lessons. And even with strangers, we can share a moment of true humanity. Thank you for listening to Daily English Stories and Podcasts. If you enjoyed this story, please follow the channel and come back again tomorrow. One gentle story a day is enough to help your English grow slowly and naturally. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode.